that you be with us, that you help us to learn and grow. Help us, Father, to make application of these things in our own lives. Help us to become the people that we need to become, so that we can do the job that you've called us to do. Thank you for those opportunities, Father. Bless us this morning. Be with all of us that have family members that are struggling and hurting, and we have people that are recovering from surgeries and things. And I just pray, Father, that you bless all of them. And Father, be with those families in Allen, Texas. Be with that whole situation, all the people that were involved, and just comfort them in a way that only you can. And if there's anything that we find that we can do, that you give us those opportunities, and that we'll take care of that, Father. Bless us, encourage us, lift us up this morning. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. We've been looking at the last couple of weeks, we've been looking at what Paul tells to Timothy, this young preacher at Ephesus. He tells him a few things. He tells him, and I only picked out of this text, I picked out 4 at the end of this chapter. And one of them was train yourself to be godly. We looked at to go into training, train yourself to be godly. And I think whether it's that he's writing to Timothy or we're learning from what he's saying to him that I can apply to myself, I still have that responsibility too, I think, whether I'm a leader or not, whatever I is to train myself to be a godly individual. There's a lot of evil out there. Satan is looking at trying to destroy you, all right? I told a story yesterday morning. I'm going to tell you this morning. I saw it on YouTube, and I could never find it again. I tried to go find it. I couldn't find it. And it's a video. It doesn't have any sound, but what it says on the video is it's to be part of a church body. Okay, and it's a lioness, and she's out, and a hyena comes, and is attacking the lion. Not going to go well for the hyena. Okay, then another hyena. And another hyena, and another hyena, and another one. Pretty soon, I lost count because they're attacking this poor lion, and this lion is in the middle of it, like 10 hyenas, and they got to bite, that, and this lion, and then you see this mouth up out of this circle of hyenas. They're like rats on it, and the teeth and the mouth, and then all of a sudden, out of the back, you see this yellow streak come. And it's another lion, and catches that hyena, and flings that hyena, and then another streak, and another streak, and another streak, and pretty soon you got 5 or 6 lions, and they're eating them hyenas apart, tearing them apart, and then it ends and goes back and starts over. And what it's telling you is, to be part of the church, And I talked about it yesterday morning in our breakfast is that Satan's going to come at us like a pack of wolves. And the only way we stand firm together. Okay? And if you know me and I know you and we know each other and we know what's going on, because there are people I'm going to be over here today that they are struggling underneath a pack of hyenas, trying to eat them. And they need some reinforcements to come at them. And so here, if you can't train yourself to be a godly individual, if you can't train yourself to be that godly person, then you may miss that opportunity to help in that situation. So train yourself to be godly. It said, put your hope in God. What was the second thing we looked at? There are people today in Allen, Texas, and maybe all over the United States that are friends and family that have lost hope because evil just came into their lives and tore their lives apart. And Satan would like nothing better than for our hope to diminish and to go away because of the things we're experiencing and the things he allows us to experience in our life. So we have to put our hope in God and realize that God's not ever let us down. I don't care what goes on in our life, God will never let us down. And it was good to hear. I watched this coverage for a long time, and there was a FBI somebody, and he said, or it was a lady I think, and she said, you have to understand this is a fight between good and evil. Evil is always going to be out there. And then another guy said the only way this goes away is if good people stay good and stand up. So only way good people stand up and stand firm is they have to put their hope in God. It has to be the pillar and the foundation that drives them. And then he said, and then the next one was be willing to set an example. Set an example for the people around you. And we talked about that last week. This week, I want you to look at verse 13. All right, verse 13, verse 13 and 14. This is number 4. This is the 4th thing that I think that he's telling this young preacher to do. I think we need to learn. All right. Until I come, devote yourself to the public reading of Scripture, to preaching and teaching. And look at verse 14. Do not neglect your gift, which was given through prophecy when the body of elders laid their hands on you. I want to ask you something. Okay? Do you believe that you have a gift? You believe you have a gift? You know what that gift is? Do you have any idea what that gift is? Do you? You have an idea what that gift is? Do you believe you have one? You believe you got a gift? Okay. All right. Anybody believe that they don't really think they have a gift? Anybody? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to raise your hand. So everybody believes they have a gift. Okay. Where did that gift come from? I want to take us to 3 scriptures. Okay. That we're going to read before I ask. I got a couple questions I want to ask you. All right. Because I think this is paramount to how the church has to function. Okay? We have gifts. And if you're not willing to do all those, he says do not neglect your gift. And I see too many times people neglecting what God has given them the ability to do. Okay? You know, if you just figured out that this is the gift, I believe at this point in my life that God's given me, and you don't take advantage of the opportunities that gift gives you, that is sinful. I'm going to say it again. That is sinful. So you have a responsibility to go find what that gift is. I'm going to ask you in a minute how do we do that. So you be thinking about that. But I want to look at a couple of scriptures. We're going to look first at Romans chapter 12. These are not long texts, just a short text I want you to look at. Romans chapter 12. Verse 6. Verse 6. We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it's serving, then serve. If it's teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it's to lead, do it diligently. If it's to show mercy, do it cheerfully. All right? Now I'll tell you another one. James chapter 1. Go to James chapter 1. James chapter 1. Look at verse 17. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. He chose to give us birth through the word of truth, that we might be a kind of first fruits of all he created. So every one of us has gifts by the grace that's been given to us, right? What he said in Romans. Here he says every gift is from above, from the Father of lights. He gives to all of us. Now look at one more. Look at 1 Peter chapter 4. Next book past James. Look at chapter 4. First Peter chapter 4. And we're going to start in verse 10. We're going to read verse 10 and 11. All right, look at verse 10. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others, as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. If anyone speaks, they should do as one who speaks the very words of God. If anyone serves, then they should do it with the strength God provides, so that in all things God may be praised through Jesus Christ. To him be glory and the power forever and ever. Amen. So what does this text say? One of them says we all got it. Another one says God gave them to us. And here he said, when you get one, use it. What does he say? Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others. Okay? Now I ask you, all right, how can you find out what your gift is? If we know we got them, we know that God has given them to us, how do you know what it is, and how do you find out what it is? How do you find out? What do you do? Tell me. Just do it? Okay? What do you think? Yeah. Okay.
Everyone's good at something.
Okay.
There's nobody that's not good at anything. And even when you get bad, usually bad, what things you're good at, that's how you.
Okay. You want to hear what he said? Ask God what it is. Ask God what here how to do this. Is, I want you to say, okay, if I've got a gift and I'm not doing anything, that's not the gift. Okay? Not doing anything is not the gift. Right?
Right.
If God gave you a gift, He gave it to you. If you're not doing anything, you can't serve. And He said, use whatever gift you've got to serve. Right? Is that what He said? So not doing anything is not a gift. That's a choice. You've chosen not to do anything. So how do you figure out what your gift is, Tim?
I'm not going to take your gift away if you don't be using it.
Okay? Well, that's another subject. No, we're not there yet. I want to know how you figure out what your gift is. Yes, ma'am.
You know, sometimes it is trial and error, and you were an example of that when you try teaching young children that this is not for me.
Nope.
And you keep working until you figure out.
Linda said, that I'm a prime example. I've said that, I try to teach children. Nah, it's not going to work. I try to teach a high school class. Not so much. No, no, I don't want to teach high school kids. I want to hurt somebody. When they're not paying attention and it was the kids were this way and he was sitting right here, his leg broke on the table like Gary's sitting, and I'm trying to teach and he's going, and he's disrupting the rest of the guys, and I'm going. I went to his daddy, who was in charge of the, and I said, "Get me out of here before I hurt somebody." I figured out and I made it 2 weeks, 2 classes. All I made it. I said, "I can't do this. I don't want to do this." So I figured out that was not my gift. It is some people's gift, but it's not mine. And I applaud people that want to do that. But I think for me, it'd be a real challenge to teach them. All right? Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes other people can see what your gift is.
There you go. Sometimes other people can see what your gift is, but before you can see it. You don't really realize what your gift is. So listen when people compliment you about what you're doing. And don't say, man, if I compliment Scott and say, man, you did a great job Wednesday. That Wednesday you did a great job Sunday morning. Say, I don't really think I'm that good. No, that's not what I want you to hear. I want you to hear, I think you did a great job. I think you need to continue to nurture this and grow this. I tell these guys, hey, man, you do awesome up here, man. He has found his gift. He's found it where his talent can be used to serve. He's found it. Huh? Y'all know who does these? Nancy comes and does these on her spare time, whenever she got some of that. But that's what teams do. That's what husbands and wives do. Georgia's got down, but I help her. Okay, she helps me do my gift. If I didn't have her to do, and for you young families, ladies, support your husband in what he finds his gift is. Don't criticize, don't denigrate. Try to up him, lift him up, and say, man, you're doing an awesome job. If I didn't have her, I couldn't have done Fortran at all. Because I had to leave her. I had to leave her when our kids were young and go, because she couldn't drag kids out there. So I had to leave. And she allowed me to do that. And allowed me to fine tune what I do and how I do it. But God help me to keep growing that gift. Because he said, here, don't neglect your gift. Well, that's a big deal here. It means to be careless about it. Don't be careless with your gift. That's what the word literally means, is to don't be careless with your gift when you find it. But, we're still talking about how do you find it? What do you do? Listen to what people are saying. Pray about it. Ask God to help show you what it is. What else? Yeah.
I think at home, you're trained to some extent. When you leave your home, you start realizing you already have some gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get older, you use them and
Okay.
say, hey, I learned that at home from my mom or my dad.
Vic?
Sometimes you will end up in a position where something needs to be done. Nobody else will do it.
Mhm.
We'll end up having to get for it.
Yeah.
And do it.
Y'all hear that? It said sometimes you get stuck in a position. You don't know that you want to do it. You don't really want to do it, but you find out you have a gift for it. And now that's your gift. You don't necessarily, hey, guys, I'm not telling you that you're going to like what God has in store for you. All right? I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you if he gives you a gift and use it to serve. You don't have to like it, but you serve. Yes, ma'am. So, Sarah, go ahead.
One of the things that having encouragement
lot of times you'll hear an opportunity that spikes your interest, there's a reason why, you might actually do that.
Yeah.
You don't, you won't know.
I mean, Robert's sitting over here and being a baby Christian, don't know sick him from come here when it comes to spiritual stuff. It's fine. He's learning. I'm sick. He's learning. He is. But he brought the world with it. He's got to wash that out and put God in there. And yet he gets up there after just a couple of, few 6 months.
So,
And he's willing to go up front of you guys and pray and read a scripture. You know how difficult that is? Ask Paul how difficult it is.
that's impressive.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, is that his gift? I don't know. He doesn't know yet. But if he had that, if we didn't come to him, he said, I want to do this. All right. You kidding, right? When Connor wanted to do the thing, I said, Kevin texted me that Saturday night because I'm going to go up there with him. And he said, he wants to go forward. I said, hold up, what? He wants to go forward. I said, are you sure? He said, I asked him 3 times. I said, okay, then we'll go forward. That's what he wanted to do. I'm not going to rain on him. If he wants to, hey, let's go. If he falls down, you know what I'm depending on? It's you guys. That you guys are going to lift him up and make him feel good because he's trying to find his gift. We don't know what Kevin the other day said. The thing came in the mail. He's going to Cape next year. He's going to junior high, and it said he's got these electives that he can take. Okay, and one of them he put down band. Okay, I don't know. And his second was theater. And Kevin said, "We'll change it to theater." I said, "Why?" He said, and he pulled out his phone. He went to a video and he showed it to me. And it was Connor ad-libbing off the cuff, taking a canned good and making a video on his mom's phone. His mom sent it to him. I'm going, I understand. Put it in the air. I don't know if that's, I have no idea. But you know what? If you find where a child is good at something, the scripture says, you train up a child the way he should go. When they're old, they won't depart from it. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you train them to be godly, they don't always be godly. But if you train them the way they're bent, find the way they're bent. What are they bent to do? And at the same time, training them to be godly, they'll always have that to fall back on. We had children that left and went to the far country. They came back because we gave them that stability of spirituality that they couldn't get in the world, and they realized it and came back. So, when you look at, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
On the program today,
I know.
Michael
I know.
Daly's gonna be
I know.
reading scripture, so there's our.
They don't even know who that is.
They don't know who that is, but yeah.
That's Naomi's son.
Son.
He's going to do it. Little short guy, red hair, kind of reddish hair. That's the guy that's going to be doing script reading prayer this morning. So, and he's going to be doing it by himself. He's not one of our young kids that need a parent to go with them and do part of it. He's going to do it himself. How can you find? I think all of you are right in how you find what your gift is. You pray about it. You let people compliment. You put yourself in those situations. And I think what you do is don't say no. Don't say no. When something comes up, okay, you may find out you're no good at it, but how you gonna know if you never try it? You never try to do something. How you gonna know? Now you may not be bent. Cole will tell you straight up that you give him a toolbox, he don't have a clue what to do with it. He'll use it for a paperweight. He has no idea what those things are in there. He don't know the difference between this screwdriver and that screwdriver. He don't know. That's Jessica's job, not his job. He understands where his limitations are. We kid him all the time about it. To go get us something out of the toolbox. He don't have a clue what you're talking about. He don't know what it is. But he's realized what his limitations are. That's not where he's good at. What he's good at. Sit down with him sometime. And you guys will finding out on Wednesday night. You find out. I sit down with him all the time when we do podcasts and stuff. And I'm amazed at what that guy knows for how little short time he's been at it. It's amazing how much he's got in his head. And I told somebody the other day, one thing when he gets in the pulpit, he's going to teach you the truth. You may not like it. You may not like what he says. But I can tell you, when he talks about Polycarp and Antipas, he researched it. He knows what he's talking about. He's looked at it. He's figured it out. I'm going to teach him the truth. So he's found his gift, found where he fits. He's willing to try other stuff too. Now they're going to jail in Cuero. Got guys going to jail. Hey, that's something you want to do? If they come and say, hey, I want you to go with us, I got something for you to do. Don't say no. Don't say no. Say yes. You may find it's not what you want to do. You know, I had Dennis Tom went with me one time to county jail here. County jail is different than prison. All right, it's just different. And he went one time, and he said, I don't want to do this. I said, okay, fine, no problem. Because I knew that it may not be for him. He wanted to go. I said, sure, come on, let's go. And he said, I can't. He said, I can't. And it was when we went on Sunday, and they locked us in a room with 17 guys. And the door was locked. They had a little bitty window like this and bulletproof glass. They couldn't hear you. You could scream. Probably all 18, 19 of us could scream. They couldn't hear you. And he said, I can't do this. Okay, no problem. He found out. But there was other things he was good at. Yes, sir.
In my nursing career, I tried the prison system going, and no, it was not for me.
Yeah.
No.
Couldn't do it. Yeah.
Geriatric nursing, and a lot of nurses say, oh, no, I won't do that.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
All I'm saying, guys, is when you get an opportunity, don't say no. It may not be what you want to do. You may not say yes the second time. But don't say no. Say, yeah, I want to try that. Yeah.
I was just saying, if there's something that bugs you, the way things are being done, and you could do it better,
I talked to my small group that we meet on Sunday night, and I said, we're going to have a really busy day today, and I'd really like to not have to meet tonight. What do y'all think? And one person said, I don't really like that. I think we'll meet. I went on and I said, I tell you what, I said, if y'all want to meet, that's fine. I'll get the questions from Cole, and I'll give it to y'all, and y'all teach it. But I'm staying home. You know? And you know, I didn't have anybody take me up on it. Nobody wanted to teach it. I didn't have Bobby come say, oh, Dad, I'll teach the class. No problem. Didn't have that. You know? But the point is that sometimes you're going to get an opportunity, and sometimes you have to roll with it. Sometimes the people that are doing it, you may not agree with what they're doing, but that may not be your gift. It may not be theirs even. They just don't know it yet. Okay? You know, we have to be like that pack of lions that came after the hyenas. We have to support each other. Otherwise, you know what happens to this thing? We can't do what we do outside if we don't do what we're supposed to do inside. Okay? Somebody had their hand up. Yes, ma'am.
Another thing that we don't talk about much anymore, don't hear a lot, but sometimes God gives you a burden.
Yeah, he does. Sometimes gives you a burden.
And
Yep.
you don't have peace about it until you say, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then
And you know, sometimes the gift, sometimes it's really taxing. Okay, it can get to a point where it's a struggle. God didn't say it's gonna be easy. He didn't say that. He just said, I'm gonna give you a gift and you need to use it to serve. Find out what it is. You know, we've got a book. We need help with Bible hours. We need help with teaching classes. We need help with this. We need help with that. You know how I told them? You don't get people this way. You know how you get them? You go grab somebody and say, I got something to do, babe. Come on. I got something to do. Man, you'll be great at it, man. You'll be awesome. Man, you'll be so good at this. You'll love it. And then put you in a Bible hour room.
it's the
You
first
see,
one.
that's how you get people to help you go get them, and then you show them how to do this. You show them what's going to be involved and how it works. Go find somebody to help you, and then, you can help them maybe find their gift. Maybe you can't, but maybe you can help them find their gift. This is not. I told James, James, you're going to put this in there to get teachers. You ain't going to get the teachers this way. I said, you're going to have to go get them and go into class with them and teach with them, maybe for a month, and get them excited. And then you may have to go through 5 people before you find one that's really excited about it. And then you've got your teacher. Then you've got your teacher going to stick for a long time. So,
oh, big ball of
yeah.
Jim's really good at that.
Sit here, mind your own business. Go into this church environment looking for, okay, God, I need to find where I need to stick, what I need to do. I want to serve. I want to wash feet. I want to serve, but I don't know where. I don't know what to do. And then decide I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no. If it comes up to me and asks me, I'm going to say, okay, I'll do that. I will. Now, I got a question. Another question. What should you do with your gift when you find out what it is? What should you do with it? Hone it. You hear? Hone it. He said, Do not neglect your gift was given through the prophecy and the laying on of the elder's hand. That's what, somehow, Timothy it was prophesied what he was going to do. We don't have that. I don't know what that, and then when they figured it out, how do you think they figured out what Timothy was good at? How do you think Paul figured out that he could leave Timothy at Ephesus, a place that was a cesspool? They tried to kill Paul there, and he leaves this young preacher there. Was that a blessing? I think it was. I think he knew exactly what he was doing when he left him there. I think he knew already because he'd seen what that kid was capable of. He saw what this guy was capable of and what he would do, and he would do really well in that environment. And then he writes him 2 letters. And one of them, when we get to the second letter, he's going to say, man, you need to take a little wine for your stomach. He's having some problems. It's starting to eat on him. It's starting to get to him. All right? But he's still going to stay the course. Paul's going to write him and remind him, this is what you need to do. Train yourself. Put your hope in God. Be an example. And then don't neglect it. Don't let the world kick you in the teeth and make you stop. Don't neglect your gift, whatever it means. If you find it what you're really good at, then you have no choice but to do what with it? To use it, serve, and find it. We have people all over this body that have found what they're good at, found things where they fit. And I see them sometimes, they get burnt out, and they just keep staying the course. They don't give up, they don't stop, they just keep going. I had when I first became a deacon, I became the deacon over home Bible studies and Bible correspondence courses. And I went to a guy that was teaching a home Bible study. He's an older gentleman, he'd been doing it for a while, and I said, so what are you going to teach so we can put it down? What are you going to be teaching and what day and everything? And he said, I'm not going to do that. And I said, excuse me? I'm not going to do that. Now remember, I'm 35 years old. I've been a Christian like 5 years. I need an example to be set for me. And he said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. He said, I've done my time. I thought, okay, I guess there's an end thing to this thing, I guess I'll get to one of these days, I'll get to retire too, I guess. I look forward to I want to know, how old are you? So when does this happen when I can retire from this? It was not a good look. It's not a good look to help me to say, I can't wait till I'm at that place where I'm that old and I'm still struggling, still honing, and still working hard. It was sad. I think back on it now, and it taught me something. Not at that point, because I had to go to the guy who's teaching me. I said, hey, what is up with this? And it wasn't encouraging. So, hone your skill. Find out where you fit and use it, and then look for the next thing to do. How many of you are looking for the next job? Yes? No? Not looking? I think I've got enough. What if God's giving you 2 at one time? What if He's going to give you another one? Huh? What if He's decided, you've done such a good job with that one, we'll put you behind the pulpit. You get picked on, aren't you?
Don't walk.
We're watching online. This is our maintenance guy. He's a master at craft. He does great work. You look at that. Y'all can't see it, but we can. That cabinet up there on the wall. He built that. It's. But he's not. That doesn't have an affinity. Doesn't have a joy, a longing to be behind a microphone. Would that say you say? Don't have a desire to go there. Can do it. I heard him do it. I heard him in a funeral just the other day do it. I heard him do it. But not really what he wants to do. That's fine. Then don't. But but maybe you'll be open to the next task that God's got for you. Or the next one, or the next one. Always look forward to what God maybe is going to have. Because remember, this is His family. And He's looking for people to serve His family. Yeah, Tim?
And when you do it out of love. Do it
out of love?
with everything you
Absolutely.
got for who you do it for.
It gets to be a job when you do it because you have to. When you do it because you have to, it becomes a job. That's not what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be a joy. This is supposed to be a gift. This is supposed to be, serving, fellowshipping. That's what it's supposed to be. Not a job. If you're looking at this as a job, if you're cooking on Saturday, because that's what you do, because that's what you know your gift is, and you're cooking to get ready for a lunch or whatever, or to take food to somebody and shut it. That's what you find. If you look at this as a job, then quit cooking, because you're never going to be happy doing it. That's when you get burned out. Yeah, that's when you get burned out. Yeah, you know, you have to decide at some point that this is I can't, you know, I can't wait to go do what I have to do. What God's called me to do, I can't wait to go do that. I can't wait to go teach. I can't wait to be a Bible learner. I can't wait to whatever. I can't wait, because I know that it's going to be a great opportunity for me to serve. So I can't wait. Now, you got to override the butterflies sometimes, because they're like B-17s, man. You know, flying around in your gut. But I was told one time, if those ever leave you, stop doing what you're doing. If you don't get nervous when you especially when you do it publicly, if you don't get nervous, then stop. Yes, sir.
Also, whenever you do your gift, whatever it is,
Mhm.
you find out that you interact with a lot of people that you probably wouldn't
Yeah.
normally talk to.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I get to go over there and harass him every time after communion. I get to talk to him, you know?
Do you mean that, do they cringe when they see you coming, some of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them.
Some of them run away.
Some of them, right?
But it gives you an opportunity to come closer to the rest of the people around.
Yeah. What God's to serve means that we're going to bind together. We're going to draw closer together. We serve each other. As we start killing off more of the hyenas, as we start beating on those hyenas that are around us, and maybe the hyenas are not Satan. Maybe it's just your own preconceived ideas about your own life, and it's beating you down to the ground to the point where you can't function anymore. And people come to help you. People come to lift you up. We talked about this morning. Sometimes you got to figure out, how do I attack the hyenas? How do I do it? The lions, it was easy. They got a mouthful of teeth. You may not have a mouthful of teeth. Maybe you have to attack a different way. You know, and understand this, you know, I mean, it was a great video to prove a point. And I think that we miss sometimes in the church that we are in this together. We're not an island. We're not on this by ourselves. We're in this together. And he gives us a gift to help serve each other so that we become the people that he envisioned us to be. So that we can do the job that he's called us to do. Because if we don't, we aren't, and we're not going to get it done. Right? We're not. It won't happen, guys. You see so many churches out there. I see so many of them that are scrambling and struggling to survive. Many of them shut down during the pandemic because they couldn't survive financially. If your gift is to give, then give. Then give. Give till it hurts you to give. Serve till it hurts you to serve. And if God's ready for you to not to do that anymore, he'll make you stop. He'll find a way to stop you. But if your gift is to cook, then cook. If your gift is to clean toilets, then clean toilets.
Amen.
You know, don't be afraid to do what God's called you to do. You know, and it may be called you to do it at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's okay. You know, and if I sound I am passionate about this because I see so many people that have convinced themselves that it's okay just to occupy a spot. And that could be further from the church. God's not in the business of helping us find a spot to occupy. He's in the business of finding a spot to help us to serve each other so that we can all flourish and nurture, and we can reach out to a lost community and become the voice of those people in the community. They don't have a voice for themselves. That we can teach them the truth. Opportunities are everywhere, guys. You're not going to be able to find them if you're mad at the person sitting next to you down the pew from you because they didn't do what you think they ought to do. Folks, man, stop worrying about what they're doing or not doing. Start looking in the mirror and figuring out what you're doing or not doing. And whether you found your gift and whether you're doing everything that you should be doing with that gift. And I think what you ought to pray about. Say, God, if I'm not using this gift the way you intended for it to be used, then please change me, fix me, and I don't care if it hurts. I don't care if it hurts me, because I want to serve and I want to be what you want me to be, whatever that means. I'm looking forward one of these days Robert's gonna come to us and say, I wanna preach. I don't think that's anytime soon, but when it does happen, you know what? I think that he's gonna be at that point where maybe he's figured out, and then what we'll do, we'll take him to Fortran. We'll take him over there and let him preach. No, I'm not scared. Hey, I got all kinds of stuff you guys can do if you want to do it. But when I start coming, you start running. I don't want you running. Ask me, what can I do? I'll find you something to do. There's plenty to do around here. I'll send them to you. These two guys, these guys need help in Bible hour. Go teach Bible hour. Just go in with Melissa this morning so Paul will have to do it because he don't want to do it. Go over there and she'll take you in Bible hour today and show you how to teach Bible hour. Show you how to love those little kids the way only Melissa can do that. From Melissa's perspective, or you guys do it the way you guys love them. Take them in there. Okay? Next week we're going to look at verses 15 and 16 because he's going to tie it all together. I think it's the invitation song of this sermon, I think is what it is. So we're going to look at that next week. I figured it was going to take a month to do these. I figured it was going to take that long. It's important, guys. Find it here, find out what it is, work at it, and then use it the best you know how to. God says, all right? All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next